The part of you that you hate is actually trying to protect you. And you don't need to fix or remove it. You need to understand it and figure out what is this part of me trying to protect me from. So last night, for about 3 hours straight, I was journaling and thinking to myself about this concept of your inner child. So think of it like this: you are 19, you're 25, you're 42, however old you are, that's your biological age. But inside of you, there's little kid. And that kid is based on what you saw growing up, your experiences, how your family treated you, what your environment was like. So you can see somebody who they might be 45 and their life is good, everything's great for them, happy relationship, happy family, etc. They got their life is good, but they haven't healed that part of themselves, that inner child. And because they haven't healed that inner child, they're still moving through life with anger that they have about their boyfriend when they were 13 or their girlfriend when they were 15, or anger toward their parents, or what the world was like when they were younger, but that was 30 years ago. But their brain, none of our brains process time as linearly. It's just always now. So when we don't heal that part of ourself, we're always somehow, some way repeating that cycle. And that shows up in your friendships, it shows up in relationships, it shows up in financial habits, it shows up in everything. So the part of you that you hate, that part of you that you're like, man, I want to get rid of this. Man, why am I keep doing this? It's there to protect you from something. And the way you figure out what it's trying to protect you from is acknowledge it, see it as it is, as a part of you. It's not broken, it's not defective. It exists for a purpose. It exists to protect you from something. But before I go too deep into this, let me do my intro. For those of you who don't know, my name is Lawrencecharris. I'm a youth empowerment speaker, and I've spent the last 4 years specializing in helping teens and young adults build self love, confidence, and overall a positive outlook on life. In addition to speaking, I've also written books on it, which you can find in the YouTube description below. One on one consultations where you can call in, get some advice from me. And lastly, if you're a podcast host or you're a school principal or have some sort of youth focused organization, so think of you're in charge of a YMCA, you're in charge of a summer camp, you are the principal of a school or college, you can email me for speaking engagements and we can discuss that. But back to the point of the video. For me, a main part that I have and have noticed repeating in my life is this inner child that has a fear of abandonment. So, for those who aren't familiar with my life story, because I mean, I don't really always go too in detail on it in here, but to make a long story short, when I was 13, my dad kicked me out. I wasn't homeless, lived with my mom. I'm doing better now. But that was a very painful experience for me. And up until the age of 11, I didn't have friends really. No matter how hard I tried, I could never seem to fit in or connect with people. So because of that, it left a huge impact on me of what if I'm never good enough to have friends? What if I'm never good enough to have this stable connection with other people? Because yeah, the irony is I have a really good connection with myself. Like I have a really good love and connection with me, but when it comes to friendships and family and relationships, I can struggle with that. And I was thinking, why is this? Like, I know what to do, I know what to say, I know how to make friends and how to get a relationship and how to do these things because I've done them before. But as I was thinking on it, I realized no, it's like you're carrying around all of your parts. You have all these different parts that are your makeup. I don't mean makeup as in what you wear, I mean makeup as in what you're made of. You have all these different parts. And if you don't acknowledge and heal and give all of them the space to be accepted, the space to feel safe, and the space to express themselves, they will forcefully find a way to show themselves. That might be you have a lot of anger and resentment built up, so you start to argue with people, or you take your anger out on yourself or on people who have nothing to do with the actual problem. But there's a lot of fear and potential self judgment that can come when you acknowledge, hey, I have all these different parts to me and I need to address them. And it's not always pretty. A lot of the inner work and the growth and all the things I talk about, it's not pretty. It's pretty when you're finished it. But the irony is that the more you grow as a person, the more you understand yourself, the more you break the limiting beliefs and you break past these mental obstacles, the more you start to realize that there's so much more. Like it's like an onion, but the onion never ends. And you feel this desire to fix yourself. You feel the desire to get everything in order, but it's not meant to be. You're not meant to be perfect. And the fact you're not perfect is what makes you perfect. Because if everyone was the exact same, life would be very boring. If everyone was exactly, completely, perfectly in line with every single thing, life would be boring, you know? And when you get honest with yourself and you begin to peel back the layers of what is this inner critic trying to protect me from? Like that self doubt and that judgment and that fear of putting it out there, that could actually be trying to protect you from the judgment of other people. And then you have to ask yourself, well, why is there a part of me that's trying to protect me from the judgment of other people? Maybe growing up, every time you would show your family your art or your music or your dancing or whatever, they would be very judgmental and it would hurt your feelings. So you have developed this part of yourself that is like a little kid that's afraid of what your mom or dad is going to say about you, and you've been carrying around that part of you until the age of 50. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Or maybe the reason why you have trouble with, let's just say, you're a man, you like women, you have trouble with approaching women or saying hello or asking women out. Maybe the reason for that could be that when you were 12 or 13 or 15 or however old you were when you decided you wanted to, start dating or speaking to or holding hands, whatever, maybe the reason why you now at 35, 40, 50 years old have trouble with this is because when you were 13, some girl embarrassed you on the playground. And you're carrying that around with you into your coworkers, and you're carrying that around with you into you see somebody on the street and you're like, oh no, what if she says this about me? Or you could have this, it could be a fear, it could be even good things too, because there's good things within all these parts. I'm just focusing on the one that we need to be aware of so that we can develop into more healthy minded individuals. But a good part is creativity, that playfulness, that inner child that just wants to have fun and play and enjoy itself. Because as we get older, we have to be more serious. We have to be practical. We have to be so rigid. And in that rigidity, your inner child and your playfulness and your creativity and your expressiveness isn't able to come out. So it can lead you to feeling boxed in and trapped in this structure. Like, I have younger siblings. I'm telling you, if you tell a 3-year-old to sit down and be quiet, they're not doing it. They want to run around. They want to play with crayons. They want to throw stuff at each other. They want to play. And they're supposed to. They're children. And inside of us, as I start this video off, we have that little kid in there. I'm not saying that you need to be 35 years old playing with crayons. I mean, you can if you want to. But what I'm saying is that that part of us shows up in different ways as we get older. That playfulness might have gone from crayons and pretending you're pirates to playing basketball and football and sports when you get 15. And then when you're 30 years old, it might be you're at the bar with your friends and you're watching the football game. Or it could be in the form of you're driving fast cars because that inner child of you, without you even knowing it, is pretending it's a NASCAR driver. It shows up in so many ways, and that's the beauty of it. When you think about all these different parts of us, you realize that there's so much more to people than we think there is. There's so much more to us than we think there is, and there's so much more to life than we think there is. But when we try to only focus on one part of ourselves, when we only try to focus on this, but not that, and that, you're not giving all of you and all of your parts the space and freedom to express themselves. Because, like I said earlier, if you don't give all of you the space to express all of you, you're going to only be a limited version of yourself. And the parts of you that feel neglected, they're going to force their way out. That kid in you is going to force his or her way out somehow, some way. That frustration, that anger, that warrior in you that developed as a means of protecting yourself from danger, that lover, that caregiver, support, that supportive person in you is going to force its way out and try to care for people in these unhealthy dynamics if you don't give it the space to have a healthy companionship or a healthy friendship or a healthy dynamic. So, I want to close it out with this. The part of you that you might be judging and hate and think, that's so bad. I don't like that part of me. I want to get rid of it. It's there for a reason. It's there to protect you from something. It's there to allow you something. That part of you that is afraid of socializing with people, it's there because maybe growing up, people were mean to you. That part of you that is afraid of putting your art or music or video out there exists because maybe growing up your family judged you when you showed them your crayon drawings. That part of you that wants to just be impulsive and do crazy stuff like jump out of planes and whatever, it's there because maybe growing up you never felt the freedom to express your wild side. Maybe growing up you never felt the freedom to live on the edge. So subconsciously you begin to develop habits of doing these wild things like jumping out of planes and driving NASCARs and rock climbing as a way of giving your inner child the freedom it never had. So understand all of you. Give yourself the freedom to express who, what you genuinely and fully are. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day. You can find my books, one-on-one consultations, and if you would like to interview me on your podcast or bring me in for a speaking engagement, you can find that in the description as well. And if you just want to donate, I accept donations. I'm not a charity, but if you want to give me your money, I will take it. Well, donate what you believe the value I gave is. I'm not telling you how much to give. Give whatever you decide you want to. It could be 50 cent. It could be 50 million. I'm going to appreciate it either way. Have a blessed day.